Welcome to Real Money Talks. Real strategies from the moneymakers and the world changers that you can use to make millions, keep those millions, multiply your wealth, and build your team. Here's your host, author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, money expert on Dr. Phil, CNN, CNBC, The Street TV, Fox News, and The View, Loral Langemeier.
Let's jump right in. We have a huge evening tonight. And again, I want to just frame this way, you taking this really seriously and helping you plan an amazing 2023. So again, we are education only here at, the core company that runs the operation is Deal Out Loud. The fulfillment is through Live Out Loud. So there's multiple companies that organize around all this, but all we do is education. So as you move into the big table and you learn due diligence and investing rules and investing education, then you meet a lot of the other people who are doing a lot of great stuff. And so you're going to, we've just done this for so long. It feels like sometimes we're being very direct and telling you what to do. There's a part of this whole conversation, living corporate versus employee life. And Andrew and Steve, I'll have you put links in along our journey. But next Thursday, January 10th, we have our Millionaire Intensive Marketplace. We've moved to a one-day format, and all of you are welcome to re-attend. That format will be 10 o'clock to around 6, maybe 7. If the marketplace stays super active, Andrew will keep it live and keep it moving. Otherwise, we are going to, move it from like 10 to 6. So the content will be 10 to 12, and then we'll do the critical importance of database and how do you monetize a database, social media marketing, and then into what is your funnels and how do you get ready for the marketplace. So the marketplace our goal is to get it underway by around 3:15, no later than 3:30 is our goal to get that underway. So we're changing the format a little. Of course, the content's the content, and we will be bringing a variety of people to help you do it. And so making money is critical, and it's where we start all this. So go ahead and put that link in, one of you gentlemen, of how to register for January 12th as we get going and get underway. Again, education only. And as you keep moving through our community and processes, you will see more and more available and meet more and more of our expert team. So let's move into tonight. And so tonight is our new year, new you. And it's not just about a reset, because really you need to be living your success habits all year long. And really starting to increase your capacity as a wealth builder, a leader, an entrepreneurial leader of whatever you're building, whatever your entrepreneurial ventures are. For those of you who are coming and you're just an employee, well, that's not going to work. So we're not going to teach that now. We're going to teach that on January 12th, the difference between employee life and corporate life. But as you start to really live this lifestyle of a millionaire and a multimillionaire, things will be changing for you. Now, our mission statement, for those of you who have never seen it, and we have it pretty loud, it's been here for a very long time, right? So Integrated Wealth Systems is committed to creating and building wealth by changing the conversation about money in households around the world. And when a big part of our support of changing the conversations is last July 12th, actually, we opened what's called Ask Loral, where it's a membership 24/7. You can either stay at the free level, just go to askloral.com, ask a question, make a request, or you can join the membership where exclusively you're invited to either come to screen and I'll work with you and do a little bit of a money makeover one-on-one, but really start working with you. So that is our Ask Loral that helps you get that conversation. Because if you can't ask a question, right? So if you're, reading the latest book, or you're reading The Millionaire Maker, there should be questions that are going through your mind versus assumptions of agreeing or disagreeing with how this all works. And unless you clarify those assumptions or your understanding, a lot of times you can start doing things inappropriately and out of sequence. So again, it's in the chat now, January 12th from 10 to around 6-ish. We will be doing our Millionaire Intensive, talking about the pattern of money that we're going to help you create. Tonight isn't about that, though. Tonight is a kind of summary of a 20, almost 30-day campaign that we've been doing. We started last year. So say yes in the chat if you were here for our results versus regrets. So say yes if you were already here. I'm curious how many of you, this is really the culmination of that conversation that we had then that we're going to be bringing into tonight. Great. Glad to have all of you back and really putting some guardrails around this conversation of how we got into it and how we're going to take you into a new year and a new year, and create success for you. So some of the things that were in the regrets versus results is the journal. I had you start thinking about your start, stops, and continue. We're going to do that tonight. We're going to take another level of your SWOT analysis. For those of you that don't know, don't worry, we'll get you kind of caught up to that. The one homework you were all to do, and I'm going to bring it back in here, is to really start changing your environment. And we'll talk about that as we get into the 8 areas of your life. With your environment, if you still hang out with the same 5 people and you committed to becoming a millionaire and being part of, the big table in this community on your path to becoming a millionaire, and you haven't changed up and traded up the people that are still standing around making fun of you or laughing or not supporting your conversation, that's rough. It's really, really rough. So you are some of those 5 people. I believe it wholeheartedly. It's true. And your environment will always win unless you change it. So the way I want you to do some notes tonight is if you have a journal, take a journal and start making some notes in there. But on a section of it, right? So actually, I'll draw it on this piece of paper. Right? I would just say something like, this is how I take notes. And I think all of you should learn to take notes. Instead of just writing down things, you should do like notes in the broad section. And then what are the actions that are going to go into your calendar? Because a lot of you're not getting a result in your life and you're not changing your behaviors and your habits because you keep doing the same thing you've always done, which is getting the same result, hanging out with the same people, same result, versus really calendaring your new actions and living by a calendar. When you're going for revenue, success, results, you need to be living by a calendar. And really, the more you time block your calendar energetically for the activities that go on throughout your year, the more successful you're going to find. You just like wander around in your days about wandering around. I don't find that I see much success in those people. So let's jump right into the 8 keys to success. Now, there's 8 areas. Most people do 7. We do 8. So the reason why we want to do, I want that later. Yeah, take that one. Sorry, I'm getting my little water station all set up because I'm going to go for quite a while. So the one I'll tell you which one I add. Actually, I'm going to give you a quiz and see, for those of you who've been around a while, which one I add that others don't add. So let's go through the 8 areas that are keys to success and what I really believe you need to create some success habits. Now, when my kids are 3, they started setting goals in every one of these 8 areas. You say 3, you said, yeah, well, you have to guide them as a parent. Right. But they can start making money at 3 and 4. They can have a little business. They can start doing little things, age appropriate. And again, if you have neat ideas, the checklist guide that's out there that we have for you. Career and personal development. So these are things that you want to start developing, and strengthening those strengths. Like where you have gaps that really you need to start doing some other areas in your career and personal development. Your health, your spirituality, your family, your significant relationship, physical environment, fun, and friends. So what is the one, those of you who've been around a little minute or two, what's the one that I add that others don't speak enough about? I've mentioned it already now. And there you go, James, right straight up. How many else would agree with James? Yep. No, Kelly, I actually talk about friends and fun. I just build all that into it. Like I really integrate, you as my financial family, big table members are, very, very close to our financial family. And I just create a lot of fun inside of all of that. But number 7 is the one that I speak of more than I think any other expert. And when you think about your getting in state, and the reason I added it is if you really follow Tony Robbins for a lot of his career, Bob Proctor, there's this whole concept of being in state and being in a physical environment that supports your creativity, or supports your growth, supports where you are. So that goes to where you live, what you drive, who you spend your time with. Like your environment will always dominate. And if you're not living where you want, it's interesting how many people geographically never move away from their families, ever. It's amazing how many Americans still don't have passports to get out of this amazingly crazy country and world that we're in, or at least your freedom to move. Like you really limit yourself by not just making other choices. So nope, it's number 7 is the one I speak of. So we've already answered that. And we're going to dig into these tonight. So again, the way that I would ask you to take notes on these is, what do you want in these areas of your life? If you look back, and just to kind of put a cap on our regrets versus results, the only way you can get the replay to that is you can buy the VIP. The VIP from that event was the replay of the event, the replay of Tom Ziegler talking about goal setting and doing a big bonus session afterwards, and then a whole bunch of just digital content that supports that conversation of how do you close down the year so you can really now re-engage in 2023 as a new year, new results, and really pulling apart. And we're going to give you some structures for this that, and I'm giving you a lot of structures. So structures are things that support you. Calendar's a structure, right? Start, stop, and continue is a structure. Bob Proctor has a system to do ABC goals. So we're going to do those later as we get into this tonight. Doing your values and knowing what your values are is another structure. So we give a lot of structures, and then the things that work for you, implement them into your life. You don't have to do them all. Intentionally give you a lot of choices, because some of you are more analytical and are going to lean towards one thing. Some of you are more creative and going to lean towards other things. So we're going to give you some different structures, and pick the 1 or 2, 3. You don't have to do them all. I wouldn't encourage you to do them all, but what works for you to really reset 2023. Here we are on January 5th as we're doing this. So as we look at this, what do you want? Let's take a poll. So Steve, I'm going to hand it to you to take a poll in a few areas of your life. And what is it that you really want? The secondary agenda to this poll is, what do we as an organization need to bring to you based on what you want? So Steve, I'll hand it back to you to take a poll.
All right, perfect. So let me go ahead and launch this poll. Just give me one moment. This will pop up on your screens, and take a quick moment to answer these questions. I'll leave them up for a little while so that everybody gets a chance to answer them. Some of them that have an option to speak with somebody or connect with a team member, that's really if you're in between. Perhaps you're interested in deciding where you need to go. So one of the things that Loral talks a lot about is decided or deciding. If you are in a position where you're deciding or decided, you want to be able to hit that option so that way we can get you to team member and really dig into what would be the best thing for you moving forward. So take some time to do that. Loral, I'm just going to leave that up for a little while. So if you want to keep going, once the results get full, then we'll go ahead and end the poll and show the results.
Okay. So I'm only seeing one question, how committed are you to get results?
Oh yeah. So there's 5 questions total. So if you scroll down, you'll see the rest of the questions.
Got it. So what's your commitment for the change? Are you committed to creating 100,000 in new income? So even if you're a millionaire, do you want another 100,000 in some category of, right? So I see there's 98% want that. Are you interested in a database? Now, a lot of you, I think I would say yes, or I'd like to speak to someone. To say no means you're not really going to build a company, because you got to have a database that you can monetize and track all these people. So I highly invite those of you who said no to go to our Millionaire Intensive next week and understand why you need one. When I was 21 years old, Bob Proctor said, whoever's got the most people and monetized database will win. Well, you see all these valuations of companies, and why are they getting valuations? They're getting huge valuations because they know how to monetize a subscription base, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's YouTube, whether it's, some of these Netflix or some of these different channels. Facebook, their valuations come on a proper database that is actually structured in, with all of the bells and whistles from not only a marketing and automation system, campaign structure, sales system. A lot of you are using just autoresponder systems. That's not a database. It's not big enough. It's not going to handle what you need to. So there's a little bit of learning inside of that for all of you. Are you committed to living corporate life? So living corporate life, and I appreciate those. Again, next week, we're going to talk about that. So wealthy people live in corporate life. And the easiest way to describe that in a very short, just give you a little snapshot, is companies make money, individuals get taxed. So if you're out there and have just a job or a sole proprietor, you're not activating 81,000 pages of tax code. You're activating about 13 to 20 options. Like, that's it. when there's 81,000 pages. So living corporate life is fully living inside of a company, whether it's an LLC. And this is a principle all over the world. They're just called different things, whether it's an LLC, an S Corp, a C Corp, limited partnership or trust in the US. It could be limited proprietary, corporation, numbered company in Canada. There are other countries in the world. So you want to understand what that means, because that is how we live. We live corporate life, and it's pivotal. And I start teaching that when you are 18 years old. What is stopping you from getting what you want? No money, no time, no support. So you got the support. You've joined the right community. Those of you who don't have any money, the assets that are available to you now, again, is Ask Loral. There's a free section of Ask Loral. There's my YouTube channel, which is Loral Langemeier, the Millionaire Maker. We are 5 days a week. There's my podcast. So there's a lot that you can access. And I'd invite all of you to put making new money at the top of your list for 2023. And how much more new money do you want to make? And not only just money, how much of the money that you're going to make do you want to start investing so you can start compounding the money, which is what millionaires do. Our pattern is we make money, we invest money. Most of you, your pattern is make, spend, or just get by. So that's part of that is you needing to set bigger goals for yourself. Like, what do you really want to do? Like, really? And that I think ends the poll. So we kind of spoke to that. But awesome. And guidance. I love that that is the number one thing you're committed to. Yes, you need guidance. And that's really what we do a little differently. Like, we have strategists. So Laura's out here and Mara's out here. So we have lead strategists that you'll talk to here in the office. We have, Terry, Chrissy, Kristen, Lavelle. You'll talk to them. They'll help assess. So their strategist job in our organization is to help understand what is it that you need and where do you want to go. A coach is the one that's going to keep you on the plan. And then I live more in a mentor facilitating your movement. So mentoring's different in our description, which is you're buying my experience of over 20 something years of being a millionaire. You're buying this lovely thing called a Rolodex. You are buying mistakes made and how you can navigate not having a costly error. And some of you're making interesting decisions that you're going to run right into a costly error, but you don't have enough experience. So you're buying our experience. And I think that's vital. I've had a mentor since I was 17. That's just a few minutes ago. And I can't imagine walking through this life without getting some guidance. So people who've already gone before you, made the mistakes, have the bigger Rolodexes, have bigger access points for now than you do. So thank you for the poll. And again, those of you who wanted to join the VIP, if you wanted the VIP link, so why don't Steve or Andrew, why don't you put in the regrets versus results? There's two different VIPs. One was on December 20th. This one's for tonight. We will have 2 hours, which will be me talking tonight, and then a VIP hour with another guest. Now, the guest for tonight is having travel issues, so we needed to move the date. So we're looking at the next date. So we're going to invite all of you back that buy our VIP tonight. And once we have him hard confirmed, so I gave you at least it's a male. Then we will, we'll invite actually, Andrew, I think we should invite everybody registered back to come to the VIP if they want to come to the VIP, because that's how you're going to get the recording for tonight as well. We won't be bringing on the guest tonight because he's stuck in a place where he can't talk right now to all of us. So we're not ignoring the VIP for tonight, but we will be playing it another minute. All right. Who wants to be a millionaire? Let's give away some amazing gifts and prizes and acknowledge those who played. Those of you who played, who want to be a millionaire. Andrew, I'm going to hand it to you. And I think, Steve, you updated how much we've given away. So talk a little bit about the campaign, Andrew, and then we'll click forward to what has been given away so far.
All right. So this is a campaign we have done literally every year for, probably before I got here. It used to be called the Wild Card Shuffle. We changed it a couple of years ago to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, just to spice it up and give it a better look. But basically, it's the same thing. For the last part of the year, starting around Thanksgiving, we let everybody come and spin the wheel or draw a card, whatever, every day until January 5th or 6th, depending on when this new you happens. Every year it's a little bit different. And during that time, everything on the wheel is either free things or deeply discounted items that are helpful, and we call them lifelines to your path of becoming a millionaire. So over the our goal is to give away 100,000. Last year we gave away over $350,000 worth of coaching and strategy sessions and event tickets and all sorts of stuff. This year we gave away, you want to do the next slide, Steve, or go back to that other one?
Yeah, go to the next slide. So last year we gave $332,000 away in either discounts or free items. So what do we have this year? What's that grand total?
I can't see it. It's, I believe it's there we go, $258,260.65. And tonight we're going to give away a bit more.
Yep. So we, when we talked about maybe giving one person a 100K challenge. Well, we upped and changed that because we had such great activity, and we're giving 5 people our 100K modules and our structures. So who are those 5 people, Andrew? And let's we'll read them off. Those of you who win, you're going to email Steve at Ask IWF, so he'll put his information in, and he will make sure that you get your gifts. And congratulations for playing. So there's Steve's email, Steve at Ask IWS. And who are the 5 people, Andrew, that are going to get these amazing gifts? Because this literally,
and FYI, you must be present to win. So I already have the drawing that we picked, but if you're not here, we're going to draw some new ones. So the 5 I have are Omar Mudassar, Amber Sanders, Joshua Wallace, and Anne Marie Chrisman.
and they're all here.
Are they all here?
Okay, there's Joshua. He's here.
Yeah, Joshua is. Omar's logged in as Omar. Say the names again, Andrew.
Sorry, Anne Marie Chrisman.
Anne Marine is on.
Audrey.
And Amber Sanders.
And Amber's on.
There we are.
Amber and Omar, we need, there you are. All right. So well done and well played. We love this activity. We love getting you very deep into the work. The biggest, thing that is our challenge with a lot of, I'm going to say, our clients in becoming a millionaire or helping their kids really learn all of this is you got to consume the content. You've got to consume 6 books. And that's not just buy them and, osmosis is going to happen. You have to open them, read them, mark in there, go to Ask Loral whenever you have questions, and really engage in consuming the content. It's distinctively different than anything you've read. It's probably the closest to, I always say, the rich dad's your big why you want to do this. And then this is really the hows and how do you dig into that? So well played. We love giving this away. It's a huge part of our charity and what we do every year to support our community. So well done.
Loral, you
Yes.
don't say this. I need to. All of you listening in, I don't know of anywhere else in this world that the person themselves would literally gift $250,000 or more dollars to help people. Everyone, we need to clap for Loral on that. That is huge. I am decades into this industry. Her heart for giving is amazing. Not just her knowledge, that's actual. She is investing in you. Loral, I had to say that. Thanks.
I appreciate that because we do. And this year, just in the launch of the book and the NFTs and our generational wealth conference, and as we look back in 2022, huge successful year for us. We did actually well over, this included, well, this is really 2023 revenue. We did probably more like 1.5 to 1.8 million last year in 2022. It's just important. And we have so much content. We want
I
you
may
to
have a correction on that.
what?
I may have a correction on that. One moment.
A correction on which? Oh, the
On
number?
the money. Yeah, I think it's way bigger than that.
All right. Well, give us an update. So thanks, you guys. We appreciate it. And we want you to dig in, but I have a ton of content. So it's up there, right? Are we over 300? So we're going to keep moving on. I want to dig to our commitments. Okay, moving on, Mr. Andrew. Go to the next slide, Steve. Andrew can jump in and just give us a number as he gets it done. We've been hugely awarded this year. This book is the 2022 Personal Finance Book of the Year by our readers group. And this is a huge acknowledgement to have beat every other personal finance book in 2022 that was published. And so if you haven't got this, we still keep the site up where we're giving you tons of bonuses. We have the masterclass up there. There's 4 masterclasses. So you get a lot of, it's really Kyle and I explaining how to use the book. There's checklists, there's resource guides, there's everything you need to start getting your kids involved in this. So super excited. It's just been a huge year. We just want to acknowledge you and our gift. Andrew, do you have a new number? I'm giving you a little more space to do it. Otherwise, we're going to keep going. Tallying. We're going to
Keep moving. My computer's lagging like crazy because of this Zoom, because there's so many people on.
Well, we're just going to call it well over 250,000 because we're there. All right. So why is commitment setting and goal setting so critical? Let's go to the next slide, Steve. Let's just jump into this. So when you really set goals, I mean, commitments are powerful because they influence the way that you think, act, and how you are perceived. So I want to start with that because a lot of you, you're perceived and you continue, especially you women, your narrative about yourself is that you're not successful. You have a self-fulfilling, prophecy of failing. Like you almost know that it's going to happen. So you kind of set yourself up like that's going to occur. You do limitations. And the way we know this is we hear you in the marketplace. So I'm just beginning. I'm not that good at it. Well, entrepreneurs want to buy from success. So like differently, when I started in the Rich Dad Poor Dad team in the cash flow game, I wasn't a millionaire, but my talk track was, I'm going to become one and you can come with me and we'll do it together, right? Or you can sit on the sidelines. I'm going to do it with or without you. And that's not a harsh statement. It's a lot of you women love to collaborate. Come on, everybody come with me. This is about you and your family and you doing it because you deserve it. It's really, really critically important for you and whatever goals you have, intrinsically for you and your family. So it's a huge reason that you need to do commitments, to yourself. When you make commitments to yourself, to something else or someone else, you're making the promise that is important to you. So you really when I say commitments to, and you guys have heard us talk about, 3 big words we use: committing, jumping, and being decided. Commitment is at all costs, meaning I'm going to get it this year, no matter what. And that doesn't mean, or doesn't say, or doesn't have any language around, I'm going to hurt other people to get it. It's I'm going to get it because I know I'm not going to run into some roadblocks, but with the right guidance and the right help, I'm going to hit that first 6 figures or the second 6 figures. Or for some of you, you're going to hit your millionaire status. We had somebody last year go from just over $1 million to over 2 million and doubled his net worth in a year. That's massive movement for one family. What else do commitments do? Why they're so important? They promise you a promise that you'll do your best to follow through, make it a reality. And again, with the right guidance and the mentoring, and to desire, your desire to honor your commitments and your promise overpowers your desire to quit. So that means you have to want it with all of your DNA. And that also, I'm going to go back to your environment has to support the goal. So when I started all this work, I called it Live Out Loud. We've rebranded, as you all see, to Integrated Wealth for many reasons, mainly SEO, and everybody and their dog now uses the term Live Out Loud, even though that was the name of the brand. It's really a process of being in these conversations about money. Bob Proctor said, when I was really young, if you're going to pick a career of a lifetime and a conversation of a lifetime, people don't talk about money, sex, or God. So pick one and you'll have a conversation of your lifetime. So I picked money. And obviously he helped put me in the Rich Dad, Poor Dad, camp. And you can't say the rest is history because we've had a lot of, but if you would have told me even when I did the cash flow game that I would be a 5-time New York Times and now Wall Street and a 2022 personal, finance bestselling book of the year, some of that's a look back. I think for a lot of you, when success happens, you'd love to say that you strategically planned it all and every little I was dotted and T's crossed. It doesn't really happen like that. You set a big goal and a target, and you leave a little bit of, I'm going to say, flexibility of how you get there, right? If you would have just been hard, blocked into a very specific plan in 2020, you would have collapsed yourself because you had to, I hate the word pivot, that's what everybody used. You had to shift. You had to change how you did things. You had to change your pricing. You had to change your modality. Yeah, there was so much you had to change to stay and thrive through 2020. So to have a hard fixed plan with no flexibility or no, movement in it, because the industry, last year, inflation is still going through the roof. Interest rates in many industries, real estate, commercial real estate is over 100% increase. You got a lot of variables that can affect your goals and your commitments and your plans. So that's why guidance of people that have 10-year, 20-year, 30-year histories are more successful. They're going to help you create the commitments for more success than what you're used to. Now I'm going to go to another structure of the next slide, which is our gap analysis, which is in the first 3 chapters of the Millionaire Maker book. And this year, I want you to do it a little bit different. Like, what do you want in 2023? Right? What did you accomplish as your baseline? What did you accomplish in 2022? And notice the places I want you to look is and if you haven't been using a bookkeeper or a good tax strategist, I mean, we have them on our teams. You get to use them as you join further up into the coaching and mentoring and big table processes. But notice there's only 2 categories we want you focused on. How much more money? How much did you make in 2022? What do you want in 2023 in your income areas? Right. And then if you really, or a client, want to break that down, is some of you have 2 businesses, 3 businesses, 5, 10 businesses. I mean, you have lots of streams of income. So where are your income streams coming from? And then what percent are you putting into your asset column? What are those goals this year? Are you going to put 10% away? So if you make $1 million, you're going to put 100,000 into new assets, or you're going to be buying new assets. If you've only made, say, 400 and you make $1 million, why not put 20% away? You're not used to spending that much. We're going to, as long as you work with our teams, we're going to keep you out of that being heavily taxed. In fact, if you use our teams, you'll be probably in the single digits of taxes within the first 1 to 3 years of working with our teams. And yes, I did say single digit tax, single digit. All right. So this is a structure and a great one that follows along with all the work and has you really stay in the money side of this conversation of goal setting. And you may think I'm jumping around, but again, I told you I'm going to give you some structures. This is one. The next one, I want everything that in your goal setting, your commitment setting, as you look at new year and your habits, your success habits, what you need to do and start and stop and continue. I want to just have you take a glance at this. So go to the next slide, Steve, is your core values. What are the core values that drive your decision-making, your life, your family's character? I take this really, really seriously. When I learned from someone how to do like this structure of it is critical. It's critical. So if you go to the next slide, Steve, and we're going to give you a gift of me teaching this from the Gen W stage. It's just going to be a free link where Steve will put that in a moment. But if you look at these are 30 different values, right? Honesty, innovation, integrity, self-respect. Now, some of them, as you go through this, and again, we're going to give you the link of me teaching you through this. And one way to do this is really fun for you and your kids, because I do this also with my kids. I've done it since they were in their, probably 5 to 8 years old when they start. And then as they grow into teenagers, it gets more solidified. But just to start the conversations of them knowing that you live your life through values, which are more than your personality. It's really core DNA. And when your values are violated, you fight like hell for them. And when your values are honored, you excel and thrive through them. So for example, like some of the words might be the same to you. So it's not about the word, it's about the definition of how you live it. Like integrity, honesty, self-respect, those are huge values of this community, right? The huge values of this community. You could say that accomplishment and achievement are, but they don't come up in the top 5 or 6, right? Community comes up. Creativity, because of the way we will teach you, for example, to do these tax strategies or raise your children. It's actually fun. I know some of you say, oh my gosh, the tax code's scary. No, it's really fun. It gives you so much breadth to live corporate life. And again, if you don't know what corporate life is, please come to one of our Millionaire Intensives. They are a free gift for you to come understand how you really can put the structures of a millionaire in play and bring it into your family. There's a whole system that we have around how you're going to be doing that. I would say that there's a huge intelligence, wisdom, and spirituality. If you look down the middle, like bottom 3 or in the middle column, huge, values around that to those that are in our community. And so what are yours? And to do that, go to the next slide. If you don't have Building, Leading, Protecting, you can go get it. It's normally $200. And it's going to take you through a business planning process that will, again, another structure for this year. Now, some of you, a lot of you, if you've already been at the big table and been a client, you should already have all this. But if you're brand new to us, this is a 4-hour maximum 7-step business process that helps accelerate and define your business goals. But better than that, Steve, why don't we give them a gift in the chat, is the Gen W recording. When I, from Live Stage in October, walked you through that values exercise. So at least you have that as a structure to, which one is the values? The askloral.com/values. That's the free gift. Yep. So if you go to askloral.com/values, that's a free gift of me teaching you just the value section you saw. If you get the whole Building, Leading, Protecting in chapters 1 and then leading into 2 is me again teaching it in a little bit of a different way. Because at Gen W, I taught it more from a legacy perspective of what do you want for the character and values of your family. Tom Ziegler was with me, so we talked about kind of the Langemeier estate and the Ziegler estate and how each of us are doing it similarly and different. So again, when you set goals and have commitments through your adult life, you want to base them in the core of who you are and your values, and not violate your values in decision making. Like, there's so many interesting scams going on in the internet. I think you all are pretty well aware. I mean, from identity theft being at an all-time high, online scams at an all-time high. I have 128 fake TikTok, phony accounts that are people trying to rip off my content and say, yeah, Loral stuff's great, but mine's better, so buy mine and I'll be cheaper. Well, that doesn't mean it's good work. You don't even know who these people are. If you have any integrity, then get your own site, get your own content, and put your own brand up. So we're going to get verified in the next few months. So then we get to eliminate all those Instagram and TikTok fake accounts that are rip-off people, because that's just core, as a core value, it's completely against my values, what these folks are doing, and it should be against yours. But again, I can't head my values on you. So before we got into some of these other structures, I want to just lay down the values are such a vital part of who you are, especially if as a parent, and really bringing this activity into your family. So the more detailed, thorough one is inside the Building, Leading, Protecting. So those of you that are in the big table are already in a coaching program. It's in your libraries, it's in your member center. So make sure you get it. And there's our official TikTok, and you can get our official Instagram is Ask Loral. That's where we are today.
Thanks for listening to the Real Money Talks podcast. Your host has been Loral Langemeier, author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, money expert on Dr. Phil, CNN, CNBC, The Street TV, Fox News, and The View. Want to learn more about off-Wall Street investing, tax strategies, and multi-million-dollar business strategies? Visit liveoutloud.com/podcast for past episodes, show notes, and resources. For some special wealth-building gifts only for Loral's podcast listeners, visit liveoutloud.com/podcast gifts. Do you have a burning question for Loral? Visit askloral.com to submit your question, and it may just be covered on a podcast episode. So stay tuned and be sure to subscribe to get new episodes every week.